I served in the Marine Corps and the Navy, 20 years of service, multiple deployments. I got injured in combat. I had a traumatic brain injury. I had muscles that were tore from various parts of my body and bones, shoulders and joint damage. I had memory problems, so I felt very insecure talking to people. All these things took a hit on my emotional side. I felt very inadequate.
I spent 23 years in the Army. I retired as a first sergeant. Had about 15 deployments. So I spent most of my adult life deployed to one third world country or another. I have 6 children, so I wasn't going to school and PTAs and doing what you would expect people do when they first come home. At best, it was tumultuous, at best. It was a lot of conflict and chaos daily. That landed me up in the VA program, doing mental health and obviously physical disabilities we had to overcome. My wife having to help me get dressed in the morning, kids helping you in the restroom. It demoralizes you when you come home. They expect you to be that Army guy that they see on the deployments and who they view their dad and husband as, and that reality is completely different when you come home.
My self-esteem had bottomed out. I'd find myself in my room alone a lot. I became very withdrawn. My neurologist and my psychiatrist recommended I get a service dog, and that's an idea that never even entered my mind.
Hey, Aaron's already over there. And Chief's over there, Glory. I know you like Chief. All right, Glory. You're not excited, are you?
When I got the notice that I had been invited to the service dog graduation, I originally said no. Lori, the founder, shows up, knocks on my door, and she walked in, and Lori just looked at me and she says, "Aaron, there's a better way to live. I can get you back to being a dad and a husband if you're willing to come on over and take that first step."
When it comes to graduation day, the work that goes into that day starts years before that ever happens. The veterans are selected based on the skills of each individual dogs. So for example, our training team will come to our veteran coordinators and say, "I have X number of dogs who are skilled with mobile disability, specifically with wheelchairs and prosthetics." At that point, our veteran coordinators will evaluate our database and look at what veterans have been waiting the longest, whose needs can be met by those dogs in which the trainers have indicated already.
Now, veterans, I know a few of them that feel kind of, well, that's a long wait, 2 years to wait for this dog. So I tell all the veterans it's worth the wait. Stay the course because it will be life-changing.
And then the great time comes where they receive a phone call from our veteran coordinator saying, "It's time in the next few months. Can you come out to Rockwall to receive your dog?"
Graduation is a 2-week process. And the first week we bring all the veterans in, and we have anywhere from 4, the max is 6 veterans at a time. And then we always have twice as many dogs. We teach them the basic cues that the dogs already know. We go over about 40 cues the first week, and we run about 6 to 7 hours a day, giving them plenty of breaks in the middle. But what we're truly watching is the interaction between the dogs and the veterans. And then on the 5th day is the day we tell them which dog picked them.
Jason, we've paired you with Apollo.
We do let the dogs choose their veterans, and we want a dog that's going to bond with that veteran. So if a dog doesn't make it through one graduation and find their person, they'll go on to the next graduation.
And then the next week we start breaking down and customize that particular dog to that person. We need to know if you've got a fast-paced dog, do you have a fast-paced veteran? Whether he walks with a cane, do we have a dog that can go slow enough for that pace? All of that is part of the customization. And then the final day we have a graduation where all the puppy raisers and the sponsors and all of those get to come and see and be proud of what we've all accomplished, because it does take a village.
It all just comes together in the end for this one perfect day.
David was matched with Jackson.
Steve, thanks for attending with Venus.
Patriot PAWS is not just an organization, they're family, and they always treat you like family.